What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at XRP, guys. We have some major closures that have just happened here, right? For example, the bi-weekly time frame has a major closure, and it looks like it's about 11 days and 23 hours to close this, right? So we are looking at some potentially dangerous situations here. But within these, within this open of this bi-daily bar, you can see here that we already retraced the 50% of the prior bar, and also, created this massive capitulation event that just really shouldn't have happened here, right? And that was all the fear of the tariffs coming in from President Trump. Okay, so now I guess the only reason that I'm speaking of this is because as the shorter time frames approach a close, like for example, the 4-day time frame has 22 hours to close, 3-day time frame, bi-daily, and the daily time frame, all of these have confluent closes, right? That's well within your 22 hours. Now, specifically the daily time frame, this one could actually make a move towards the upside, and the upside move on this could be relevant to around $2.64, $2.65, to around this resistance here. Now, as we go up, the bi-daily time frame does show that it could resist somewhere in the areas of around 260, so that's okay. 3-day time frame here, the 3-day time frame here does show that it could actually run to its downside, right, guys? But it's all good in the hood. I do think that we may actually be supporting here from a local area. So we're going to validate all of these closes here and all of these areas of potential support, because we need to know if the bottom could be in here very soon, okay, you guys? So we definitely were able to meet the targets to the downside from yesterday's analysis, so everything is good. Now, as I'm looking at price action here live, it is right now 5:56 p.m., and that is Pacific time, right, guys? So that would be 8:56 p.m. Eastern time. So this area here would serve as a pretty strong support, but we're incredibly close to it, okay, guys? So this would be in the zone of around 250.15. Now, I guess we're going to have to use some larger time frames or shorter time frames to determine where that higher probability support could be. Like, for example, here, we have a 244.72 to about this top wick right up in here that could be around 246.92, okay, guys? So, for example, that, I think I'm going to go ahead and place a little bit of a range in there just so that we can be aware over what the potentials could be for this bottom side, right? So just around like this here, that could be an area that we could use that we could use for to pick up some bulls, right? So we can take this thing towards the upside. Now, I'm not going to say that this is relevant to the 50% of this entire bar here, but it is 30%, at least 30% of it, and it's looking okay. Now, of course, guys, this thing could still experience a drop even into this range here, right, guys? But I got to say that we're going to validate how far down it goes first before we make the actual call out. We want to make sure that we just don't, that we're not just calling out random ass targets in here, right? We want to make sure that we can mathematically back it and put together a real thesis here so that everybody can use these targets here for their advantage. Okay, guys, so yeah, that's looking like it could be dropping into that area there. Price action is now failing this support bound from this wick, okay? So as soon as we start converting that 250.15 into a resistance, yeah, that could likely lead towards the bottom side here, guys. Now, remember that this is pertinent here because we just got some the new daily open, right? We got the new bi-weekly open. All of these things are just going to create some volatility, okay, guys? But do I think that this is the bottom? Is crypto over? No, I don't think that it's over. I don't think that it's the bottom. I don't think that we're at the top. I just think that this is just price action at its ebb and flow. And I do think that we still have some continuation to go, right, guys? We just need to make sure that we can, practice, like I said, practice the ebbs and flows. All good in the hood. So let's go ahead and validate those immediate short terms so that we can see if we actually have, the downside coming in for XRP. Now, before I say that, guys, I think that it's time that, I'm going to go ahead and start levering in to the algorithm here, guys. This is the one that I am it's looking like I am going to close it, guys. It's looking pretty damn good using the Kraken platform. I believe that I'm going to lever in another $5,000 into this, And that's particularly because it is performing as it should be. Okay, guys. So remember that these are amongst your last days and last opportunities. So make sure to check up here in the in your top right hand corner where you're going to see the link for the purchase of this for a lifetime with that ridiculous low price right there, guys. That's all for you. And then from there, it's just gone. Okay, guys. And then we'll figure out the rest. But it's looking good so far, guys. And for the live trade, and then we're just going to speed it up and see what it's like when it reaches 0 execution fees in Kraken. But all good. Let's go ahead and now move on, guys. Remember to get that purchase in for yourselves. Let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame volatility against momentum. So, I do see that there is a critical amount of contraction here, which usually, signals potential weakness, right? Sell side conviction isn't quite there. Now, could it be that volatility would start spiking here? Well, we're going to be able to tell right now in about 7 seconds, right? So 15-minute time frame showing that there is some downside coming in. Volatility is usually more sensitive to the downside. So should it spike? Actually, no, it went deeper into the contractive zone, guys. Okay, but it still has a downside pivot on this. So that just means that it's not volatile towards the downside. It just means that there is less conviction towards the downside with a downside. Now, 30-minute time frame just opened as well. And as you can see here, this definitely has now a downside suggestion. Of course, we have a buy formation, a bearish buy formation here, right? That would be your shooting star alongside a bearish engulfing here, right, for continuation. 50% prior bar retrace can lead to 251.33 in this immediate short term as we speak before continuation towards the downside. So now let's see how much downside we have. Hourly time frame still has downside. We still have downside on the 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour, and potentially the 6-hour. Let's see the 8-hour. Okay. And let's see the daily time frame. Okay, so we have just about a day's worth of downside on this. So let's just go ahead and take a look at that worth. So we're looking at about 28 cents to the downside, leading towards an ATR low of about $2.24. Now, we do have something relative down there, right? We have around 237, which means that this could be an area to invalidate the potential reach of 224 on the daily ATR. Okay, guys, so I just want to go ahead and kind of be abundantly clear about that. It's mathematics say that it can drop, right? But if it could drop, we have to then find a reason why it wouldn't go all the way that way. Okay, guys, so this in all honesty here, guys, this is a huge area of liquidity, right? So we're going to be, tapping into this center bound here, right, guys? The more we can validate this as a support, the better it'll be for the bulls to continue on towards an upside. Okay, guys, so naturally speaking, guys, this thing is still kind of bearish because of what happened here in that shakeout. And for example, the 3-day time frame is still living within that same candle. But I gotta say that in a downtrend, when you print a long wick like this with a tiny body on top, that usually signals reversal, right? That usually signals potential upside, right? A V-shaped recovery. And that's because it's a hammer candle, right? Hammer candles are typically pretty bullish formations. Same thing here in the 4-day time frame, over in 21 hours, 57 minutes and counting. That would be probably ending by, next session tomorrow. And that would be printing a pretty, I'd say attractive bar. And the 5-day time frame here, guys, I know that this is looking pretty ugly here, but like I said, right, we still have some of these entries to look at for a potential upside on this, right, guys? I know at this moment here, it could be very fearful. So usually speaking, though, you know what I mean? A lot of people end up buying the fear and selling the greed, right? Just like your man Warren Buffett said, but it couldn't be any more truer inside of the broader markets. Okay, guys. So if you guys want to know how to do this, please go ahead and refer to the email that I'm about to post right over here. Just know that I am an instructor for trading, and you can reach out to me at ARCa Bulls, or actually, you know what? Let's do ARC Masters course at gmail.com, and I'll be able to send you out the disclaimer and the syllabus for that course. Okay, guys, make sure to reach out to me. It's not too late for me to get the beginners in. We're only just a couple weeks in, and we can certainly get you in and caught up, since we do film the lectures here. So you can just go ahead and refer to those first, and then continue live with me. I am the one hosting them every single day, every single time. Okay, guys, so very good. I do expect a bounce from this area here, guys. Let's see how price action behaves when and if it does does hit the 237 bottom. If it does hit that 237 bottom, guys, there could be a reason for price action to continue towards the upper bound and start validating again your 252 to about your 247 for validations of newly found resistance into the conversion of support. So if that is possible, guys, then we would, start making our trek back up to the areas of around 265, even into 272, or I would say 272.87. Okay, guys, so it is conditional, right? So let's just make sure that we can practice absolute discretion, because at any moment, anything can happen here. And price action, of course, as you can see here, those are the implications of the crypto markets, right, guys? It's very, very. All right, guys, with that said, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. You know where to reach out to me, and you know what to do now. Okay, guys, please take whatever I do, show, and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.